is what I responded. I don't watch him. Sport. I don't need to. This guy is a simp. He's an individual. First of all, why do you think I need any information from you when you're hearing it here on my channel? You're in my inbox repeating it back to me as though you're the one who's coming out with it. Like, the guy is ridiculous. It's so fucking hilarious. So these are the reasons why it just goes into the ignore section. But I've got 71 pages. There's 70 pages of messages, okay? You let me know when enough is enough for you guys. But I'm going to pop to the message that he sent me just this last time. That this morning I thought, you know what? I'm going to post this fucking thing. I'm sick of this stupid son of a bitch. And I know he's in the background using it in and amongst all of somebody else who he's manipulating and trying to get on with it, make it look like he's like in my group or in the flow of information, or he's a trusted source in my angle. I can't stand this fucking guy. All right. He's a plague, and this goes for Justin over at ClutchThanPearls too, because that's where you're sourcing all of these individuals to scam. Not to mention all of the individuals who you entrap along the way at any one moment. I watch you in other people's chat. Let me go over to this one. Now, let me get this straight. I never ever read these. So, like the messages that Janie's spamming me on Facebook, I'm going to wait till a lot later of a more significant date to go back and read them. And it's always in front of a group of people. It's always in front of an audience in that sense, because this is what's fantastic. This is what's interesting. So this fucking idiot, he sends me this February 13th, 24 hours ago. And as I was taking a dump this morning, I started to read it. I made my decision. I'm like, fuck, I'm putting that right on my page so I can I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. And one thing led to another. Then I started remembering all of the shitty things that this Wolfie did to Cali OG. This isn't me making these things up. I've got all kinds of people in my chat right now who understand exactly what it is that I'm talking about, because they were engaged with it behind the scenes. Wolfie is the bad actor in all of that. Okay. It's not because there are some people out there who genuinely really believe in things, and they get wholeheartedly into like sleuthing on their own, and they're green and they don't have any experience. So you guys listen up too, because a person like Wolfie is out there just to suck you right in and try to be your friend, and then turn around and do all kinds of fuckery behind your back. Okay. And he's sitting up there in a Facebook group with his buddies, Kent and Durwood and Jordan and Janie and Daniel. 100%. Callie and my OG in my chat knows exactly what I'm saying. And Mike Demand should know that as well. Although, the reason Mike Demand talks a certain way is because people like Wolfie are the ones who are driving him up the fucking wall. And Ninchi, I hope you didn't make him a mod in your live chat like people are telling me in my comments the other day. You need to ban him from your channel rather than make him a mod. Okay? And he's got no special insider information that's going to ever be relevant to anybody. Now listen. Here's what he sends me. Can you imagine sitting down and writing this whole fucking thing out to somebody you listen to on the internet? Well, why is it you can't talk in my live chat? Why is it you can't engage like a creator wants you to engage? Why do you have to be special, Wolfie? Why do you have to do something else? Because the answer to all of that is, idiot, you're trying to manipulate the creator. I'm sick to death of reading these go nowhere, monotonous, run-on fucking blather from a freak, okay? That's at the end trying to think about all the things and what I'm about to read you is going on there. Remember, before I start, there was no conversation that led up to this. There's no communication. This is a random communication in my email inbox, okay? Like, it's completely one-sided. If this was a girl, he would be a fucking stalker, and you could call the police on his punk ass. The guy's gaslighting to the nth degree. Fucking retard. Hey, Wolfie, Rob Haynes. Rob, before we begin, I want you to turn your volume way up.
Uh-oh, retard alert. Retard alert, class.
I'll start. He said, the reason why I started my own channel was listening to you. Think about that opening statement. That didn't even go anywhere. Don't think it's going to change. Don't think it ever changes. He never has a point, okay? So just get ready. I had this idea that I wanted to talk about other cases that were brushed under the carpet years ago, and I thought you were being genuine. What? No, let me be clear. Let me be clear like Obama. Let me be clear. I told you to go start your own channel so you would stop polluting my email inbox with all of your fucking blather, you moron. I don't want to fucking hear. What makes you think that I want to hear all of this nonsense from an absolute random stranger? Ever. Did I ask for it? It's all unsolicited, my friends. This is like emotional rape. Yeah, Ilyanka. The point is he does that on purpose. It's not just because he's a complete blathering idiot. It's gone on for so long. Give you the benefit of the doubt. I know you're guilty of all of this fucking shit. It's for them to figure it out and prove it in a court of law. But up to that point, we've got your number. I don't need to be nice to you or pretend or be courteous. You're a fucking goof, pal. And everybody needs to know the level and for how long you've been trying to manipulate people in the background. No, I'm not going to ignore you. I'm not going to ignore you at this point, Wolfie. I'm going to start talking about you. All of a sudden, he gets so upset for what? I said one thing in chat a couple of weeks ago. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've been avoiding calling you out. I've been avoiding talking about this. But it's all relevant because it is a good measure to people firsthand about the manipulation that's going on that people refer to in other videos. You hear loose ends to it. You can tie it right back to the nonsense with Dene and all of this Chrissy Travers and this fake message and trying to make it look like Belinda was trying to kick somebody else out and posting it in all of these Facebook groups up there to have people turn on each other to cause divide. This is what this fucking idiot does. This is what he engages in. 100. Now, what was sticking out was, before I came live, was how I was going to tie this back into why it's relevant into Jack and Lily, meaning that you guys would find, for the people who don't know, who find the relevance to it the fastest, and why it bothers me in that sense, and why I'm calling it out. Because directly, Wolfie, by proxy, is an extension and also making himself an accessory after the fact. He's committing a crime, even though you probably might not recognize it. All right? I recognize it. And it has to do with this, and it has to do with the term comfort, C-O-M-F-O-R-T, in relation to being an accessory after the fact. And I asked for a definition and to explain it a little bit. Maybe you'll understand at this point. So, along with several other things, comfort, how should I say that? Comfort is one of the factors and can be by itself a standalone in becoming an accessory after the fact. Like all of the reasons, all of the ways that you could possibly violate the law and become an accessory after the fact to something. In this case, it's going to be a double child murder, okay? The Jack and Lily Sullivan case. So it goes on to say, let me just define it to you. The term comfort appears directly in the definition of an accessory after the fact under section 23 subrule 1 of the Canadian Criminal Code. RSC 1985, under C46, the full provocation or provision states accessory after the fact. An accessory after the fact to an offense is one who, knowing that a person has been a party to the offense, receives comforts or assists that person for the purpose of enabling that person to escape. Note the word comfort, which is, in my opinion, an extension of what Kent and Wolfie, this fucking idiot Rob Haynes, are doing online in the digital environment. Forensic, you don't even have to go there. Comforts or assists the person for the purpose of enabling that person to escape. Now, comfort is one of three alternative forms of the prohibited conduct, alongside receives and assists, that can make someone an accessory after the fact. What comfort means in this context refers to providing emotional support, solace, relief, encouragement, or reassurance to the person who committed or was a party to the offense, meaning Janie. Janie and Daniel are working directly, and you guys are all up there circled around fucking blowing each other in that little group of yours in Facebook. The purpose must be to help that person escape justice, meaning to avoid arrest, detection, trial, conviction, or punishment. Yeah, you go way beyond trying to just obscure. Examples from the case law and commentary include offering kind words, moral support, a safe place to rest emotionally, or consolation to reduce stress, anxiety after the crime, when done knowingly and with the intent to aid escape. It is distinct from, but can overlap with, receiving, or example, harboring or sheltering the person. Assisting, a broader term covering practical help like hiding evidence, providing transportation, money, or false alibis, like Janie did. The actus reus, the guilty act, requires an act of receiving, comforting, or assisting. The mens rea, the guilty mind, requires knowledge that the person was party to the offense. The purpose, the intent, is to enable escape. And this is what this Wolfie does by proxy. So I got no problem calling his bullshit out. And it's unavoidable. It's not something at this point in time that you're like, oh, maybe he is just, from a person who doesn't know any different. How do you know he's just not a schizophrenic or something, or somebody who's suffering mental illness? Well, because I've got these 72 emails of blather, and you've read the first one. Well, there's all kinds of other ones that go along with that form a pattern of behavior, and you can email me at stepbystepexploringvideos@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to send you any of them over, an example of that. You really think that I'm in the background engaged with all of these these individuals talking about things and just thirsty for all of the information that they're bringing me? No, and in fact, I sit here every time I go live and state, at this point, in this case, anything but drama. They're fun, boy.